to understand as far as the ODM-UDA merger is concerned. And again, what is the meaning of the Wrangles that we have within ODM party, knowing that this is a party that has been in position or in place for almost 20 years. UDA party is just very young, and they're talking of the merger. What is the implication when we come to the end of it all? Moses Kimanzi, is a political analyst, and Aaron Leon is also a political analyst, will be helping us to understand the puzzle as to why ODM and UDA party is ready to merge. But before we go there, there are some things that we need to touch on as we go to the topic that we had today. And to start us off, we have Moses Kimanzi will be saying an introductory points to the audience.
Thank you, Jeff, and good morning.
Good morning
to viewers. It's a beautiful morning, and we are happy to come and discuss what's happening around our country. And so let's see how it goes.
That's great. Leon. Karibu.
Yes, Jeff, thank you.
Karibu.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah.
And good morning. It is a great morning to be in our beloved country, Kenya. Yeah. And it is a good morning to be a Kenyan at large. Yeah. But also a sad morning to be a Kenyan because of the things that have happened in matters politics. Very sad, a very sad morning. Or because of the after events of what happened yesterday in Odhaya. It is rather sad that our politicians have taken politics away from the theatrical politics. Now they're taking politics into church. That was a rather sad happening. And it is not the first time, it is not the second time. Therefore, I would like to unequivocally condemn the perpetrators of the violence that was meted on innocent Kenyans. Yeah. That was very shameful in a republic that boasts of democracy. I believe in a state of democracy, everyone has a right to express their political opinions without interference, as guaranteed by the Kenyan Constitution.
Yes.
Therefore, it was very shameful to the perpetrators and the organizers of that violence that was meted on innocent citizens that served as a collateral damage in a political game. It was very shameful.
That's great. And I think that's to start us off. And I feel to start where Kimanzi is sitting. And I'm looking at what took place in Kiambaa some good years ago. And it is a replica of what took place yesterday. And before I get to the same, I need to go to a place whereby trying to look at Africa at large, whereby most of the countries that we have, it's like if we just position in any political position or any leadership, you feel that maybe you go there, you are not supposed to get out of the same. And what we're looking at yesterday, before we get into the to people purporting that maybe it was stage managed in that matter or for that matter, we want to understand why is it that if we have a leader sitting on any position politically, why do they feel that they are not supposed to be unseated in whichever way?
Thank you. Well, it's a sad occurrence where Africans believe that they were not meant for seats, but seats were meant for them. It's a very sad state of affairs because as a leader you're supposed to be a servant. Yeah. But now our leaders become lords of some sort, if I may use that word. And so it is usually a belief that you are not supposed to be unseated for whatever reasons you think. But we also know that power is very sweet and it comes with very many privileges. I remember watching the first public incident that happened after the former deputy president was impeached, and you could see that his shoes were muddy, something that never happened when he was the DP, because now he would have used the red carpet. So when you look at power and what it comes with, it is very comforting and it gives someone some status that is not easy to live. And so the problem with African leaders in general is that they do not have the understanding that getting into power is one thing and staying in power is another. And there are good ways that you can use, like appealing to your electorate to keep you there by working for them, by being a servant leader, by being someone who can be a good example, by just doing what you are elected to do. And so the problem we get is that people panic when they realize either that they've fallen out of favor with the same people who put them into power, or generally there is usually a fear of just losing elections. I think it's one of the most painful things to go through. It's just like losing a loved one. You go through very serious moments of grief and self-reflection and all that. But I think people should stop viewing leadership as a do or die thing, or as a matter of life and death. The same way you get into, for example, a union when you're starting a family of marriage. It's a union of two people who are willing and it's a voluntary. And so if at some point things get south, you should also accept that things have gone south. And the same way you volunteer to get in is the same way someone can volunteer to get out, you know? And so when you look at leadership in that perspective, we elected you in good faith. We put you in power because we wanted you. And therefore, at some point, if we feel that we do not want you to lead us, then you should be in a position to accept that. I was watching closely the elections in our neighboring country, Uganda, and I was just thinking to myself, there is a generation that has known no other leader except the incumbent. And you look at just the neighbors. Tanzania has had, I think, from Nyerere to Mkapa. There was Magufuli, there was Suluhu now. Those are four leaders. We have, there are actually five. There was Omar Mwinyi. The same to Kenya. We have transitioned from, because when you look at in 1986, it's Moi who was in power. And so from Moi we had Kibaki, we had Uhuru, now we have Ruto. But those guys are just having one leader. And you wonder, what is this thing that this person is offering that nobody else can offer? And therefore we should have that culture of diversification. Yes, you are seated in that seat today. Let someone else sit on it tomorrow, so that we have divergent views and divergent opinions, and therefore we contribute in the building, because we do not all reason the same. We do not all do things the same. And that's why we are having a lot of fights today over the NGCDF, for example, because there are some people who are utilizing it, there are some people who are not. And that's the dynamics of leadership. We have governors who return money to the exchequer, and we have governors who say the money is finished. We need some more money. Our projects were pending. It's all dependent on how you view leadership and what's your commitment to your people. And I also think another bad strategy, as I conclude, is that leaders tend to think that the best way to retain themselves in power is by impoverishing the electorate, so that they can give handouts every electoral cycle. They can practice what we call the politics of tokenism, where I keep you poor today so that tomorrow you come and salute me and call me Mheshimiwa, and whatever I give you, you'll still sing my praises. I think if leaders would be open to the idea that if people were empowered, it would even become easier for them to rule and to govern and to lead. But again, as I said, there is always that fear. And that fear is what makes someone want to cling to power until they like want to die while they are still in power. And that is just the Africa we have, sadly.
That's so poor of a country that is developing. And I think there is a very key thing that I had questioned before we get to Leon. And
Yes.
sorry for keeping you. We coming to the same because we're just flowing through the same. Meanders. Now, I had mentioned of Kiamba.
Kiamba, yes, sorry, yes.
And I'm looking, that the reason is why I moved all around Africa, then to the story of
Yes.
Kiamba, and yesterday, I think when you go to the Daily Nation, you're looking at a place where Gachagua is working hard to make sure that he pushes Ruto out of Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Then the same thing, Gachagua's been calling or even branding himself as the kingmaker. Then we look at the story of Kiamba and yesterday's attack, Othaya Nyeri, whereby a church was attacked, SEK. And I think it's a way of trying to push your competitor from the race, which I think it is not the right way that you're supposed to push any person you feel maybe is ahead of you in whichever way. Yes, so it is a style whereby Africa is using, and if you go to Uganda, the same thing is happening right now. Bobby Wine,
Yes.
was the presidential aspirant, and Museveni's competitor,
Yes.
and we see is being pushed out illegally, which is not the right way how you're supposed to push it to your competitor. And that, I think, it's a way that maybe you need to keep staying in the same position, that you don't need to see any person who is maybe better than you in politics or in leadership. And
Yes, I think that's something that is very unfortunate to be happening, and that's a style called instilling fear, a politics of intimidation, politics of harassment, and that is meant to scare away competitors. But now we realize that sometimes people push something too far, which should not be. I mean, the Constitution of Kenya guarantees freedom of assembly, freedom of worship, and therefore a church is the least place that somebody should feel unsafe. And therefore what happened yesterday should be condemned in every aspect and form. It shouldn't have happened. It should not be tolerated. It is wrong, and it's not the right way at all. There are several aspects of looking at it. When we look at what happened in 2007 in Kiamba, it was bad because now that we had fueled the tribal card too much, that we had gotten to a place where it was not rivalry, but it was now enmity. And it was very sad to see women and young children being burnt in church. And if that didn't sound as a warning to us or as a point of reflection, because we've realized that incidences of that sort keep repeating themselves, which is very wrong. It's something that should not happen. When we look at what happened yesterday, I mean, there was nothing wrong with allowing Gachagua to just attend the service and say what he wants to say, and maybe you give him a right of reply. But the way in which it was handled yesterday, it was bad. I don't want to divulge much and scrutinize whether it was stage managed or not, but I want to think that at this point, Gachagua is not in power. And therefore he doesn't wield a lot of influence like he would have when he was in power. I don't think he has his own command of the police. I do not think he has access to things like tear gas. And there sometimes, even if you want to prove a point, I think the farthest I've seen someone go politically is just to fake a kidnapping, but where you are causing harm even to yourself, because there were live bullets being used. I mean, you cannot make such tricks and assumptions and assume and play with your safety. So I want to look at it from where I sit as an attack and condemn it. Because one, you should not even, you should respect. I mean, we are a religious country, let me say that. Because if you go to any place, you would recognize the place by the number of churches and also the number of entertainment joints and bars, because we are also a drinking nation. But my point was that we are a religious country and we claim to be 85% Christians. And therefore we should have some reverence, we should have some fear, we should have some recognition of the church as a holy place and as a place that should be respected, as a sacred place. That's the word. And therefore, if you can come and lobby tear gas and met violence on innocent worshippers, I think that is going too far. So those are things that we should not tolerate going forward. And I think they have, you know, sometimes you can do something thinking that you are winning, but you're actually losing. You are losing favor with the people the more. I want to think that one of the reasons for that, Mount Kenya is a very vote-rich region. We all know that. And they are key decision makers as far as who becomes president is concerned. And the current president had favor with Mount Kenya. And in my opinion, what he should not have done is impeach Gachagua. That was a political mistake, which would be very costly for him. And even for him to look the other way, which is what we'll be majorly discussing today, the merger between UDA and ODM, is because he realizes that he has lost a key voting bloc that propelled him to power in 2022. And therefore, what he should have done, one, is not to impeach Gachagua. And when he realized that the damage was already done, he should have tried to win him back some way. Because we say in politics there are no permanent friends and there are no permanent enemies. What we have are just permanent interests. So if my interests and your interests align, then we are likely to work together. If they do not align, then one will be going south and the other one north, or the other one east and the other one west. Will be parallel at all times. And therefore, I want to believe that there's still time before 2027. And what calculations that the people in power should do to make sure that they win back Mount Kenya should not have a component of violence in that equation. They are getting it wrong. That's what I would say. Because if you have favor, it means you did something. If you are losing favor, it means you also did something else, or you did not do something you are supposed to do. And therefore, winning these people back is not so much of a rocket science. It is just strategy. Politics is about strategy. It's about perception. It's about interests. It's about how you do it and how you perceive, how people perceive you are doing it. And therefore, what I would say is that that strategy that they are using is not going to bear fruit.
That's very
from
true.
where I sit.
Yes. That's very true. And we're coming to what we're discussing today. But Leon, there's something that we started off with Kimanzi, and it's all about why when you're elected in Africa, you just have to stay all through. And actually, to our distress, or even to maybe a shameful thing, even as Museveni was elected, I was still not yet born and is still in power up to date. So there are people who still were born before he was elected. still in power. So when you look at it, I think it's an umbrella thing in Africa whereby if I'm elected in a place, I don't have to quit, or even I don't have to exit, I have to stay long. So what do you feel are the things that hold African leaders into power?
Well, Jeff.
Yes.
First, one thing we need to learn about Museveni is that he was never elected to the office of the president. He overthrew the government of General Obote. So he was not constitutionally elected, and therefore removing him constitutionally, I see it as an impossible task. And he has said it severally, not once, not twice. But that notwithstanding, in Kenya, elections are held constitutionally after every 5 years, are stipulated by the 2010 constitution. But Jeff, the tragedy of our nation is that when vying or when seeking for votes, leaders seem to have something called some sense of sense. But when they are elected and they rise to power and they sit on those seats, they become the most senseless being that exists in a country. I do not understand what happens. The shift will be, the rift and the shift between a vying person and an elected person. They become two very different human beings. So what happens is that you are elected as a humble member of parliament, or as a humble member of whatever position you are elected into, humbly requesting for votes. Then after you are elected, after the swearing in, I don't know what devil takes over, or what spirit takes over the leaders in the continent of Africa. Jeff, it is very sad that the same people who walk barefoot while seeking for votes or seeking for sympathy to be elected are the same people now maiming and almost killing Kenyans. Jeff, you made a reference to the 207 issue and the Kiambaa Church. It is only a fool who does not learn from their past. And Jeff, I will tell you for a fact, the trajectory that this nation is taking is we are riding on a very dangerous precedence. And we are heading to a pit that we will not get ourselves out of. But Jeff, you need to understand that, like a game of football, politics is very emotive. Politics is a very emotive issue. I will tell you for a fact, and I agree with Kimanzi here, that people have claimed that it was stage managed. But how do you stage manage? And being that you are outed out of office, impeached, and you do not have any command of the police. The Daily Nation has reported. That there was a meeting in Nairobi that was pre-planning of how to disrupt the Gachagua church event. I do not see it as stage managed. How do you then explain the GK vehicle that is captured on the social media, on the viral videos that are going on, doing their rounds on social media? How do you explain the GK escorting the goons? Then how do you also explain a person in a civilian, carrying an AK-47 assault rifle, and another one with an M16 assault rifle? That one we cannot explain. Therefore, when you talk about stage managing, and it is very sad when you hear the CS for Interior saying that he has instructed the Inspector General of Police to commence investigation. What are we investigation? How on earth did the police vehicle get there? How on earth did the goons escorted by police vehicle get there without the police in that area knowing? Then an attack that lasted for about 30 minutes without the presence of the police or the response of the police, do you call that state managed? Or we can comfortably say that the state is either complacent or a part of the violence that was meted on the former deputy president. Having said that, it is not that I am a supporter of the former deputy president. What they are doing is that they are making him more popular than he could have been. I believe whoever advises the government is missing a political mark. And I agree with Kimanzi that whoever advised the president, and I said it here, that the ultimate loser in the impeachment of Gachagua was not Gachagua, but the president. And he has seen it, he has lost. He is the ultimate loser. Because the mountain is gone, and it is not coming back. And it is a vote-rich region that propelled him to power, as Kimanzi has said. And what he's doing is not bringing the people close to him. It is actually drifting apart the people that voted for him. Because if you tell me of a parent whose child was tear gassed in that church, tell me you can convince them to vote for this regime. And I believe those that are, I am not saying that the president is a part of this, but those that are in the presidential camp that are doing this are doing the president more political harm than good. So it is very shameful for them to wish to state that it was stage managed. It is very shameful. And this trajectory that we are taking as a nation is very sad. Jeff, I have seen that it is only a fool who does not learn from their past. Who in this nation wishes for a repeat of 2007 post-election violence? No one. And Jeff, I am telling you for a fact, if we do not change the political space, I see us heading to that direction. But that notwithstanding, Jeff, I see there is some bit of hope. Because I said here, and I will repeat it again, in 2027 election, there are going to be political orphans. That it is going to be catastrophic, and we are going to have a lot of losers, and we are going to have a new breed of leaders that are going to come into power. Jeff, this is not the time for tokenism. We have seen that what the people of the Northeastern Frontier have come to say about their leaders. That are the leaders, allow me to say this. Jeff, I saw the other day a member of parliament using the water boozers to go and water watering area for vehicles, not for vehicles, for animals, for cattle. You cannot go and water an area that naturally has water. You go and water the place. And I sat down and asked myself, is this the kind of leadership that we want in this nation? In fact, I've since been wondering, how impossible is it to sink boreholes in Northeastern? How impossible is it? It is possible. The cost of the 300 water boozers that are today in Northeastern Frontier is very expensive than drilling boreholes and sinking boreholes in the Northeastern Frontier. Therefore, it is a way of politicians of impoverishing the community so that they can remain dependent on the politician. But that is changing, fortunately. 2027, we are going to have casualties, political casualties of the political decisions they have made before 2027. And I assure you, Jeff, not many of them are going to go back to parliament because people have seen the light. We might be impoverished, but we are a part of the problem. So what do? We, being a part of the problem, we have accepted. We are the part of the problem. So if I am the part of the problem, what do? I change myself. How do I change myself? By voting out the person who has impoverished me intentionally so that I remain begging him to do development for me. Therefore, I see in 2027, there is hope. But in 2032, there are going to be a paradigm shift in this country. And we are going to experience an election that will then propel a new generation into power. Yes.
Okay, that's great. And remember, you're watching Morning Live, and this is UDA ODM merger, and we getting into the real topic of or even the discussion that we had today. But before we go far, we just wanted to discuss some of the issues that took place yesterday, which touches the safety of this country. And actually, it is an attack that affected young people, and for a person like maybe the president, as the nation has put, or even the standard has put it very clearly, that is talking of President Ruto stopping all this. So we're looking at hope at the end of the tunnel. If at all we stand right, and if the issue of tokenism to our voters, I think, shall be restricted in one way or the other. So moving forward, we shall be playing 4 videos back to back concerning what you're talking to. Because of time, we won't get to that, but the videos will be playing back to back from our director. So I think I have to go to Manzi first before we go very far, and I will have to mention something that is mentioned in the Daily Nation top page, whereby it's talking of the widow of former Prime Minister Ida Odinga. She is serving, or even she is appointed as a UNEP, what do you call them?
Special envoy.
Yes, she's given that responsibility, so she's appointed to the UNEP. And we're looking at, actually, now we've dived into what we're looking at, whereby ODM is 20 years old, and UDA party is less than 5 years old, and we're looking at a place whereby they are forming a merger, or even they're trying to combine their efforts together to make sure that they look at what comes when it comes to 2027. And former Prime Minister Raila Odinga died last year, October, and we're looking at a place whereby we're asking a question: is it a bribe, or is it kind of a genuine appointment for Ida Odinga, as the widow of Raila Odinga, to the position of the UNEP party? UNEP, yeah.
Well, I don't want to answer it directly the way you've asked it, Jeff, but because one, Ida Odinga is a Kenyan, and she's qualified to hold that position. And therefore, being a presidential position or a presidential appointment, that means the president gets to decide who he will appoint. So we may not as well so much question why did he appoint her, but we can look at the political implication of it. That is a political strategy, which of course has gotten him some good points. We have seen the reaction from various leaders, especially women leaders, who have welcomed the decision. Now, just like we were looking at the attack of yesterday from two angles, from either an attack or a stage-managed thing, I've said politics is about perception. And therefore, from where I sit, there are two possibilities. First possibility is that he was rewarding her in honor of the former Prime Minister, the late Raila Odinga. Because I want to believe that if at all Raila wanted his wife to be appointed in such a position, she would have long time. But then now he's not there, and therefore the president decides to nominate her, and she has accepted the nomination. So from where I sit, one, that's a way to appeal to the ODM faction, her being the senior-most person of ODM, because that's the wife of the party leader.
The founder.
And the founder. Let's use that word. And therefore, she has a lot of say. All right? The second part was that the other side that people don't look at, because as I've said, it's a strategy. And I'll base my argument on this. Whether when the former Prime Minister was fronted for the AU position, whether it was genuine or not, is something we will never find out. Because the government gave its full support, but the seat was never won. I'll tell you, if a government wants something, it goes for it. All right? Case in point is the recent by-elections, where we saw no amount was spared, no chances were spared to make sure that the seats that they wanted to win were actually won. All right? The appointment of Ida is pending vetting at the National Assembly. And from the past, we can look at it two ways. The wife of Raila Odinga is just as powerful as Raila Odinga. It's just like saying we are vetting Raila Odinga. It is very difficult even for you from where you sit to ask her any questions. So if they want it will be a sale pass.
Yeah.
However, there's another catch. If the appointment was not actually intended,
Yeah.
it will fail at that point. But the perception will still remain that she was nominated. She was nominated. So we can look at it from those two angles. Because now as an analyst, I'll give you both perspectives. I will not just tell you what you want to hear. I'll also tell you the probability of something else that you may not have seen. And that's why you're having me here. And therefore, it is something we need to closely monitor and watch to see whether it will happen. So either could be a possibility, but politically, the appointment has won the intention for which, or rather the end point for which it was intended. It has been won.
Yeah.
Because the Luo community is happy, the ODM fraternity is happy, and the women are happy. And those are many scores
Yeah.
at once politically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm looking at the Leon nation. How will they benefit from the same? I think I can to Leon because I think former Prime Minister has been looking for the top position for a very long time, but he's not won it. And one thing I'm looking at is the issue of tokenism, whereby you just want to forge me or even push me into a position, by maybe giving you something, then later once I give you, it just disappears. We're looking at some by-elections that took place some few months ago, whereby very few leaders just go down to a place of taking tea from zile vikombe za mabati from the grassroots. And I think that is a way we always sympathize with our leaders. Then we give them the positions. Later, they try to misuse us. What will be the benefit of the Luo nation once this position for leader is effective?
Jeff, allow me first to accentuate what he has said and agree that Ida Odinga is a Kenyan. And the position that she's been appointed to is a preserve for the president to appoint. Therefore, I will not question the why, but I will question the timing of the appointment. Well, we all know that politics must be read as politics. And politicians will never quit, will never cease becoming politicians. Therefore, the appointment is okay. She is a Kenyan, and she deserves the appointment. But what I will question is the timing. When we have the talk about the merger of ODM and UDA, then what do? You take the top brass of ODM and send them out of the country, which is very okay. I've said she's a Kenyan. She deserves the appointment. And the appointment is a preserve for the president to appoint. Therefore, it is okay. What I will question is the timing, Jeff.
Yes.
The timing is perfect. And Sidney Sheldon says that there is no coincidence under the sun. So is this a coincidence? I will not call it a coincidence. I would not. The timing, I would not. I would look at the timing and keep an opinion to myself. But Jeff, as a Kenyan, she deserves a chance to serve in the UNEP. But as a de facto leader of the ODM party, she's much more beneficial in Kenya rather than outside Kenya. The appointment worked well for the president because it has served well in the quarters of the ODM, and as it has appealed to some ODM sympathizers or some ODM supporters, which is very okay for the president. But what I am insisting on questioning is the timing of the appointment. Jeff, is it also possible that the president is sending her away so that he can have minimal people to deal with in the talks with the acquisition of ODM or the merger with ODM?
Okay, I think that's a question I want to post it to Kimanzi as we get back to you.
Maybe as a wind up.
Yes.
The timing is perfect as sending her away.
Yeah.
I have said she deserves it. She's a Kenyan. But the timing is perfect. Yeah. And you see, I read politics in every political gimmick. When the president fronted the former PM, the former Prime Minister, the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga, when he was fronted for the AUC seat, the president was looking at a way of taking his main competitor in the election of 2027 out of the country. That is politics. But this appointment, I would not question the why, I would question the timing. Thank you, Jeff.
Right, okay. Now to Kimanzi, okay, the timing is okay, and you also said there's no coincidence under the sun. All right, now, I said ODM is 20 years old and the founder is rested.
Yes.
And we're looking at a lot of divisions within the ODM, but actually within the very key people. And I'm looking at a very young person by the name Kasmal, trying to maybe caution Edwin Sifuna, who is the Secretary General of ODM party, maybe not to be part of the SEM. I don't know why he's pushing him out of the SEM. But I'm getting back to this, whereby after the death of Raila Odinga, Oburu Odinga, doctor, was appointed as the interim party leader. And there looks to be a kind of agreement between Raila Odinga, Oburu, and his nephew, Winnie Odinga, Raila's daughter, and they went to a party. I think it was an anniversary in Mombasa. And after the same time, they came back, and we're looking at the disagreements and divisions from the same time. And now we're looking at when Raila was in, or even after, maybe the kind of handshake that took place between Raila and Ruto. I think there was a kind of agreement there, and there were also some sentiments, or even some agreements, or even don't do this and don't do this, that maybe we're not supposed to be just becoming broad-based, but we're not merging the parties when Raila was alive. And I think these are sentiments supported by Edwin Sifuna, that maybe they won't betray, won't Raila Odinga. But now, Odinga Ida is in the mix. What does that tell us politically?
Thank you, Jeff. From where I sit and my own point of view is that the closest person to the heart of a man is the wife. Okay?
Yes.
The closest person in terms of blood relation
Child.
is a child or a sibling or a parent. Okay?
Yes.
So I'm just juxtaposing that so that I bring the matter into perspective the way you've brought it. There is Ida, who is the wife of the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the late. There is Oburu Oginga, who is the elder brother of Raila Odinga. There is Winnie Odinga, who is a daughter to Raila. And therefore, the thing I would say is that the agreement that was made during the handshake is only known to the president and the former prime minister, because the handshake was between the two of them. All right? There is usually what we are told and what we are not told in politics. All right? So there is the widely discussed 10-point agenda, and what they discussed, we want this implemented, we want that implemented. But deep down, the agreement between Raila and the president was very much political. They were forging a way forward for 2027. And we could see that the former prime minister negotiated very key positions. I mean, it is very dangerous for a sitting government to hand over the treasury to the opposition. Okay? So all these are strategies. All right? So now, I want to look at this whole thing as just the aftermath of what in the secular world we see when a rich man rests and maybe he had a lot of children or several wives, and he had not exactly directed on what should happen to his wealth when he goes. So we are having a situation where we do not actually have political parties in Africa. Let me say that. What we have are convenient vehicles to propel them to power. Okay? Except the second president who stuck to one party until he retired. Every other president who has come on a temporary vehicle, which has not even outlived beyond 5 or 10 years. Because when we look at the Rainbow Coalition that was formed in 2002, in 2007, the different factions had already started going different directions. And then they rebranded in 2013. The now president had formed a party which was called URP, and the president, the immediate former president, had formed TNA, and together they merged and they formed Jubilee Party. And today Jubilee Party is a shell. All right? And therefore, when now the president, the sitting president, wanted to take over power, he formed another party, right? The UDA party, which is what propelled him to power. And right now it is the ruling party. ODM has been in existence from, I think, 2007. It had initially been the same ODM for former Prime Minister and Kalonzo Musyoka. He was also a part of ODM. Then when he felt he was going to be shortchanged, he broke out, formed a faction called ODM Kenya, which was later born and became Wiper. I mean, when you look at the history of parties in Kenya, you realize that it's just a joke, some sort of. It is just something, some convenient merger of some sort to help us achieve a certain purpose. So we are having, I've not given you my point, I was just giving you an introductory thing. Now, having that in mind, the truth is that the party is the founder, and the founder is the party. So the uncomfortable truth that we do not want to hear is that the day the founder of ODM died, that is when ODM technically died. But right now, we are trying to put it on life support machine. All right? And there are people who benefited, not from the party, but from the party leader. And now that the party leader is no longer there, they are in a panic mode. They do not know what to do. And therefore, they are looking at now the party, one, as a regional party. So there are leaders from that point who want to be leaders so as to remain politically relevant in the region. There are the young Turks who were again promised we are the leaders of tomorrow, who now feel because now the party founder is no more, now the party should be handed over to them. So we have a problem, and this problem could have been foreseen long ago when the former Prime Minister was fronted for the AU position. That is when he should have handed over the party and overseen how the party would be run. But he did not. He kept that card close to his chest until his demise. So now, given that nobody has clear directions, nobody knows what they ought to do. So what they did, they gave Oburu Oginga to act as the acting party leader. Of course, on merit of his seniority.
Yeah.
But I also would question why he was not a party leader when the brother was alive, because he's also the older brother. Or he did not hold any powerful position before.
Yeah, sure.
So when you look at how things are going, then we have now the young tax who are fighting the Akina Sifunas. Okay, what I would say for a fact is that Sifuna was very close to the heart of Baba.
Yeah.
And that is why, even when he was fighting the broad-based government and Baba was alive, he never commented. All right?
Yeah.
You know, there are things, you know that if it is not in your heart, you are going to. For example, we expected yesterday after the attack, the president himself to come and condemn the attack. By him not doing that, he's already giving us certain perceptions, in quote. So that he did not make those pronouncements when Sifuna was being seemingly seen as toeing out of line. And then one day he made a comment that you know, these young tax, or they are warm-blooded. Sometimes they are overzealous. They talk without thinking, and he left the issue at that. So if you are an analyst, you would say that this person, even if not 100% of what he's saying is from the party leader, or with the blessing of the party leader, at least a good percentage of what he's saying is speaking on behalf of the party leader.
Maybe to agree.
And then now, we also have this point where we would say that nobody else knows the heart of Baba than Ida. Nobody else knows the heart of Baba than Oburu. Nobody else knows the heart of Baba than Winnie. So when all these people are speaking different language, now that is the confusion that the orchestrators of the merger or the death of ODM are going to benefit now. And that is also called a strategy in politics, where you cause confusion in your enemy's camp until now the party cannot stand. And then you bring them down to your knees, to their knees, and now they'll have to come and beg you. What forms the ODM-UDA merger, as I finish my point? It is the realization that now the vote-rich Mount Kenya region is no longer with us. And therefore, we need to look for a second option. When we can look at Baba as having been the closest competitor of any president who vied. So he enjoyed a massive support from certain regions. And therefore, merging with them would politically mean that the regions that supported Baba would bring their support to the new formed union. And that is what now the play writers of this play are looking at. Yes.
Okay, that's great. And I think our director will be adding us maybe 10 minutes so that we have a lot to cover, but I think because of the very key things that I feel we don't have to leave until we finish them, I think I'll be giving you very, like 1 minute for a point. And there's something you were to add on top of what, like give you 30 seconds to finish that so that I give other two, then we go.
Jeff, Kimazi had said that the party is the founder and the founder is the party.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to agree on that. That the day that Baba left us is the day ODM became pieces. If you look at it currently, as you said, the young Turks want a piece of this orange. The family wants a piece of this orange. And the other regions also want a piece of this orange. Now, Jeff, truth be told, the merger between UDA and ODM is a merger of divorcees.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? UDA has lost its most powerful vote-rich region, that is Mount Kenya.
Yes.
And ODM has lost its main founder. Let me tell you, one thing that we need to agree that Baba's support was not particularly from Luo Nyanza. Baba had supporters all over Kenya. And that, when Baba left, I don't think there are only but a few who can claim to have a quota of what Baba had. Not even a half, a quarter of what Baba had. So what is it that is happening? The president has lost his vote-rich region. And therefore, he has divorced a region. Therefore, he's a divorcee. And the ODM party has lost its founder. And we have said that the founder is the party and the party is the founder. Therefore, ODM is a divorcee. Therefore, what is happening? These are merger of convenience that cannot stick, that will not stick. And that is why there is the infighting in the ODM, with the people supporting the merger and others entirely opposed to supporting President Ruto in the election of 2027. Jeff, one fact is that, an undisputed fact is that Winnie has learned from the politics of his father. If you trace back Baba, how he took over Ford Kenya from his father. That is what Winnie is now wanting to do. Because this party belongs to her father. And what does she know? She knows that power is never given. Power is taken. So what do? I need to align myself with people who would support me in case I were to take this power. And therefore, the ODM has lost its popularity, because if you look at it, honestly, no one can gather the same support Baba garnered in the western region from ODM. No one can garner the same support that Baba garnered in the coast region from ODM independently. We have to have this one from western region, this one from the coast region, this one from the eastern region, this one. But all of them were a conglomerate of what Baba brought. Therefore, currently, ODM is a divorcee. Therefore, an UDA is a divorcee because it has lost its vote-rich region of Mount Kenya. Therefore, should this merger happen, is a merger of divorcees. Therefore, I do not see it going anywhere.
All right, thank you. And I think the last 2 or 3, and maybe 1 minute, let's stick to that. So that I think this can't end today. We've not covered anything from this. So I think we'll have another time to cover this, because this is taking all through up to 2027, I feel so. And ODM party is very expensive. No one can afford it. True. Sentiments from interim party leader, Dr. Oburu Oginga. What is that? And we're talking of a merger here.
Well, in politics, anything is possible. And in politics, everyone has a price. And so when you are, for lack of a better word, auctioning the party, you portray it expensive so that the stakes are quite high. I said politics is perception. So I wouldn't say whether it is expensive or not. I will say it was expensive when the founder was there. Right now it is not. But you have to push for it to still be perceived as strong, as vibrant, and as expensive as people knew it. Yes. So as of that statement, whether it will be true, it's a matter of wait and see.
Now the same to Oburu Oginga. He said that if ODM party has to field a candidate come 2027, it will be the one constitutionally approved.
Well, it is not a question of if. It is a question of when. It is not a question of possibility. It is clearly evident that ODM, whether a breakaway ODM or the current ODM, will have a presidential candidate. That is for a fact. There will be a presidential candidate with ODM or an ODM breakaway. But Jeff, one thing that Dr. Oburu Oginga is trying so much is to stitch the party that has permanent cracks. Because they know if they expel Sifuna today, then ODM shifts and becomes a regional party, majorly, predominantly from Luo Nyanza. Therefore, they must not lose Sifuna by all means, by every means possible. Therefore, Dr. Oburu Oginga is going to do whatever it takes to still have Sifuna, despite the pressure that is being handed over to him, left, right, and center. Please chase Sifuna away. They know that chasing Sifuna away takes away the national outlook of the party, and it becomes a regional party. And MP Uchende Omolo warned them yesterday. and said that if you dare do that, then we will risk breaking this national party to a regional party, of which ODM is the national outlook. You have said, should they have a presidential candidate? I assure you, 150% sure, it will not be Dr. Oburu Odinga. That one, you can take it to the bank.
To that same note, then we finish. From the Daily Nation, we're looking at Sifuna-led wing preparing for 2027, and you're saying that they're not supposed to expel Sifuna.
Yes. I have said ODM will have a candidate in 2027. Whether a candidate by ODM or a candidate by breakaway ODM. That is for a fact.
Okay. Okay, I think we finish at that, but before we finish, our final words, I think they come from, I need us to end by looking at the merger. Is it political, is it personal, or is it strategic? That'll be the final word or statement from each one of us.
Well, I think I will go first. But first, let me just add on what the two have said. The constitution of ODM places the party leader as the presidential candidate. So what Oburu Oginga was saying is correct on paper. Again, what my fellow panelist is saying is also true. We will have a presidential candidate, but it will not be Oburu Oginga. So what ODM is doing is placing itself, is strategically positioning itself to bargain for higher stakes. What going around is that they want to bargain for the deputy president position. And therefore, if they are going to get a running mate position, they have to put something on the table which can be seen. And therefore, it is in their interest for them not to lose any wing. Because as he has said, if they lose Sifuna, then it is going to be catastrophic to them, just as we had warned the president not to impeach his deputy, but he went still and did the same. If ODM follows that precedence, then ODM is going to die a natural death. Then we have strong personalities in ODM, like Sifuna, like Babu. Those are people who are going to exist by themselves and win whichever seats they will want to win, irrespective of whether they align themselves with ODM or not. So they would rather have them by their side because they are going to win their followers. So in politics, it's about strategy. And your question I answer it by saying it is both personal, strategic, and political. It is very strategic. Because if that merger doesn't happen, and the united opposition somehow agree to field one candidate, and they all agree, a repeat of 2002 is going to be seen. They will unseat the president very early in the morning. And therefore, chances of the president getting a re-election are also highly going to depend on this merger, whether it goes through or not. Because predominantly, we have 4 regions that vote as a bloc. One of them is Mount Kenya. If they say we are going left, they go left. Eastern. If the Eastern say we are supporting so and so, that goes without saying. The other ones are now Luo Nyanza. And those ones, when they say we are voting, of course they were voting for their own, but we've seen historically that they vote for one candidate. So it is important for the president to retain that voting bloc. Yes. So I'll finish it at that and urge Kenyans to be peaceful and to remain optimistic. We only have one country. We don't have any other country to run to should things go south. So let us make informed decisions, and I will also tell the Gen Zs and the younger generation to register as voters, because the only way we can propel our ideologies in politics, because we are operating in a democracy, is to ensure that we vote for the person we want. So if we don't vote, it means that we are encouraging the person we do not want to stay in power or to take over power. And as my former panelist said, as my panelist said, is that power is not given,
Yeah.
it is taken.
Yeah.
And the power of taking that power is in the vote. So let's vote, let's register as voters, and let's plan and purpose to turn out in 2027 and vote for what we want, and vote out what we don't want.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My parting shot would be very simple. Let us be the civic educators that this nation needs. Let us make sure that we enlighten someone with the knowledge of why they need to vote positively and vote for change. Let us be the key campaigners of civic education to the masses. And everyone, we only have this nation.
Yeah.
The nation of Kenya. That's why it pains me to want to see that, want to take a trajectory that will lead us to doom. It is very sad.
Yeah.
But my parting shot, let me, you, and everyone else become a civic educator. And in 2027, we are going to have the change that we yearn for in this country. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, thank you. And from my left, we've had Moses Kimanzi, political analyst. To my right, I've had Aaron Leon, political analyst too. And they've been helping us dig and delve deeper into the issue of UDA or the merger. And I think you've just taken some points on. And come 2027, the key and the most important thing that we need to leave you out with is vote right, for the best, and vote for the choice of your own self. This is Morning Life. Wish you all the best in our subsequent bulletins and programs. Thank you for watching. Tumetoka.